You think pirates simply drank whatever water they could find and hoped for the best. But here's the shocking truth that will revolutionize how you view these legendary outlaws.
Pirates didn't just worry about running out of water, coolers. They often had plenty liquid.
That would kill them faster than dying of thirst from dehydration in tropical climates. Most successful pirate crews hadn't just mastered robbery and warfare. They'd developed ingenious purification, techniques that could transform deadly swamp water into life-saving drinking supply using advanced methods. That wouldn't be understood by mainstream science for centuries after pirates had perfected them. Most people assume desperate pirates simply drank from whatever water sources they could find, accepting risk of illness as unavoidable when facing death by dehydration in hostile environments. But that's completely wrong. Smart pirates understood contaminated water was more dangerous than none. They developed purification techniques more advanced than anything available in European cities of their era. These weren't desperate attempts at water cleaning by ignorant criminals trying random filtration methods. These were systematic, scientifically sound purification methods developed by men understanding water safety mastery. Was literally difference between legendary pirate careers and agonizing deaths from waterborne diseases killing faster.
And more painfully than any enemy weapon they'd ever face in naval combat.
Here's the horrifying reality about contaminated water that every experienced pirate learned to fear. More than naval battles, because invisible enemies attacked from within their own bodies. Water from tropical rivers, stagnant pools, and questionable sources contained invisible armies of parasites. Bacteria and toxins that could cause violent dysentery, explosive fever, and death within hours. Of drinking what looked like perfectly clear, refreshing liquid that seemed completely safe. Microscopic enemies in contaminated water were more deadly than any human opponents pirates faced. Because they attacked from within, turning a human body into battlefield where organs became weapons. Cholera, dysentery, typhoid, and other waterborne diseases could kill strong, healthy pirates in days,
while causing unimaginable suffering that made death seem merciful compared to continued agony.
Parasitic infections from contaminated sources created long-term health problems, disabling pirates for months or years, turning effective fighters into weak invalids who became burdens on their crews during voyages. Intestinal parasites would consume nutrients from inside their hosts, causing malnutrition and weakness, making pirates vulnerable to other diseases and injuries that could have been survived with proper health. The speed of waterborne illness was absolutely terrifying for pirates, who could go from healthy to dying within hours of drinking from the wrong source during desperate water emergencies. Cholera could kill people in less than a day, with victims experiencing violent vomiting, and diarrhea that dehydrated them faster than they could replace fluids, creating deadly cycles. Bacterial contamination in stagnant water created toxins causing organ failure and neurological damage permanently. Even when bacteria themselves were killed by boiling that should have made water safe.
Pirates learned some contaminated water remained dangerous even after treatment because dead bacteria released.
Poisons that couldn't be removed through simple purification methods available to pirate crews.
Psychological terror of invisible water contamination drove some pirates to dangerous dehydration rather than risk.
Drinking from questionable sources that could be liquid death disguised as life-saving salvation.
They understood clear, cool-looking water could be deadly, while murky liquid might be safe.
Visual contamination indicators like color, smell, and particles provided some warning about dangerous water. But most deadly contamination was often completely invisible to human senses and observation. Pirates could die from crystal clear water while surviving on murky liquid after proper treatment.
Cascade of crew losses from waterborne diseases could destroy pirate expeditions more effectively than enemies,
leaving ships with too many sick or dead crew members to function effectively during voyages. Entire crews would be found dead on beaches, not from battles, but from contaminated water. Cruel dilemma of choosing between certain death from dehydration and probable death from contamination created some of most tragic decisions in pirate history during desperate survival situations. Picture watching your crew slowly dying of thirst while staring at abundant water sources. That might save everyone, or kill them all faster than dehydration ever could. Pirates stranded on tropical islands faced impossible choices between dying slowly from thirst or risking immediate death from drinking contaminated swamp water, stagnant pools, or polluted streams containing diseases. Psychological pressure of making life or death water decisions drove some pirate captains to paralysis, unable to choose between certain slow death and uncertain fast death for their crews.
Desperation made some pirates willing to gamble on contaminated water when dehydration became unbearable completely,
leading to tragic situations where entire crews died agonizing deaths within sight of water. Timing of water contamination deaths was particularly cruel because victims would feel temporarily better after drinking, believing they'd been saved, only to develop fatal symptoms hours later. Most heartbreaking pirate discoveries involved finding crews that had died next to abundant water sources, their bodies showing signs of waterborne illness rather than dehydration from lack of liquid. Smart pirates realized water purification was life-saving skill requiring sophisticated understanding of filtration and sterilization. They developed multi-layer filtration systems, combining physical barriers with chemical treatment for comprehensive purification. Sand filtration became the foundation of pirate water purification because sand particles could trap bacteria, parasites, and visible contamination while allowing clean water to pass through slowly and effectively. Pirates learned to use different grades of sand to create efficient filtration layers, removing contaminants.
As water moved through the system, progressively cleaning liquid with each filtration stage.
Charcoal filtering provided chemical purification that could absorb toxins, chemicals, and organic contamination completely, that sand filtration couldn't remove from water sources containing invisible chemical and biological threats. Pirates would crush charcoal from cooking fires into powder, then layer it between sand filters, creating combination systems providing both physical and chemical water cleaning through multiple purification stages. Cloth pre-filtering removed large particles and visible contamination before water entered sophisticated purification systems.
Pirates learned to use multiple layers of different fabrics, creating preliminary filtration, preventing contamination.
From clogging their sand and charcoal filters that required clear water to function properly. Gravity-fed systems allowed continuous water purification without requiring constant human attention or energy input. Pirates would build elevated filtration containers using gravity to pull water through purification layers, slowly and thoroughly, creating steady supplies of clean water without ongoing labor requirements.
Container construction using barrels, pottery, and improvised materials created effective filtration housings that could
be built and maintained using whatever materials were available aboard pirate ships or islands.
Layered filtration sequences optimized purification effectiveness by arranging different filtering materials in specific orders.
That maximized contamination removal, while pirates learned that sequence of filtration layers was crucial. Quality testing methods allowed pirates to evaluate their filtration systems and ensure safe drinking water.
Discovery that sustained boiling could kill invisible dangers revolutionized pirate water safety through sterilization.
And created sophisticated heating and cooling systems, processing large quantities of water efficiently for crews. Fuel-efficient boiling methods conserved precious wood and cooking materials while ensuring adequate sterilization of water. Pirates learned to maximize heat transfer and minimize fuel consumption through careful fire management. Large-scale water processing systems allowed pirates to purify enough water for entire crews using coordinated
boiling operations that could handle dozens of gallons simultaneously through systematic water treatment processes.
Steam distillation techniques provided ultimate water purification by completely separating clean water vapor from contamination.
Creating absolutely pure drinking water from even the most polluted sources through advanced distillation methods.
Cooling and storage systems prevented recontamination of boiled water while making it palatable for drinking.
Pirates developed evaporative cooling techniques using wet cloth and underground storage, bringing boiled water
to comfortable drinking temperatures without exposing it to new sources of contamination from environment. Temperature monitoring methods ensured water reached proper sterilization temperatures and maintained them long enough to kill all biological contamination through pirates learning to judge water temperature and boiling duration.
Quality indicators helped pirates determine when boiled water was safe to drink and when additional
treatment was needed through visual and taste cues indicating successful water sterilization without overprocessing. Human element was absolutely crucial for successful water purification because some pirates possessed natural talents and acquired expertise that made them invaluable for keeping crews alive through proper water management. Former chemists, apothecaries, and people with technical backgrounds brought professional knowledge to pirate crews.
That proved essential for developing effective water purification systems using available materials and equipment.
Indigenous knowledge from native peoples provided authentic understanding of tropical water sources and traditional purification. Methods that had been used successfully for generations by people understanding local water conditions. Natural diagnostic abilities allowed some pirates to recognize contaminated water sources and predict which purification
methods would be most effective for specific types of contamination found in different water sources.
Innovation and experimentation skills helped water specialists develop new purification techniques and modify existing methods to work under unique conditions of pirate operations in hostile environments with limited resources. Teaching and knowledge transfer abilities enabled experienced water purification specialists to share expertise with crews.
Creating backup capabilities, ensuring water safety knowledge wouldn't be lost when specialists were killed.
Quality control and safety assessment skills allowed water masters to evaluate purification effectiveness and ensure treated water was safe for crew consumption through testing methods, identifying successful purification results.
When conventional purification methods weren't sufficient for heavily contaminated water sources, innovative pirates developed biological filtration systems using living organisms that could clean water naturally through evolved biological processes. Living plant filters used aquatic plants and root systems that naturally absorbed toxins and bacteria. From contaminated water through pirates learning to create constructed wetlands using available plants processing. Polluted water through biological systems that cleaned liquid naturally without requiring human intervention or energy. Beneficial bacteria cultures were cultivated and used to compete with harmful bacteria in contaminated water,
creating biological warfare that eliminated dangerous microorganisms while leaving water safe for drinking consumption.
Algae filtration systems used certain types of algae that could absorb toxins and compete with. Sand and gravel biofilters combined living microorganisms with physical filtration to create comprehensive biological treatment.
Pirates learned to cultivate beneficial microorganisms in their sand filters, creating living filtration systems.
Natural settling and clarification used biological processes to separate contamination from water through natural settling.
That allowed clean water to be extracted from polluted sources without complex equipment or procedures.
Ecosystem-based purification involved creating mini ecosystems that could process contaminated water through natural food chains.
And biological cycles, using multiple organisms working together to clean water more effectively than.
Evolution from trial and error water poisoning to systematic water quality assessment represented important intellectual achievement.
In pirate survival science, through pirates developing testing methods and quality indicators predicting water safety.
Animal behavior observation provided early warning systems for water contamination, because many animals could detect dangerous water that appeared safe to humans through instinctive avoidance of contaminated water sources. Visual and sensory inspection techniques helped pirates identify obvious contamination while recognizing subtle indicators
of water quality that might not be immediately apparent through systematic evaluation of sources.
Plant-based chemical indicators used natural dyes and reactions to test for specific types of contamination
that couldn't be detected through simple observation, using plant extracts as primitive chemical testing agents.
Taste and smell protocols provided final safety checks that could detect contamination surviving other testing.
Methods through pirates developing systematic tasting procedures, identifying dangerous water while minimizing exposure during testing.
Documentation and knowledge sharing ensured water safety expertise was preserved and transmitted between crews,
preventing loss of life-saving knowledge when water specialists were killed or left their ships.
Systematic testing procedures eliminated guesswork from water safety decisions by providing reliable methods for evaluating
water quality and purification effectiveness through step-by-step testing protocols followed by any crew member.
As we reflect on tales of survival science, something profound emerges about human adaptability
and capacity to develop sophisticated solutions to life-threatening challenges using only primitive materials.
Pirates who mastered water purification weren't just criminals who happened to know water cleaning tricks. They were accidental pioneers of water sanitation who developed techniques that wouldn't be understood
by mainstream science for centuries after pirates had perfected them through practical necessity. Methods pirates developed represented some of most advanced sanitation practices of their era, completely. Their understanding of filtration, sterilization, biological treatment, and quality testing informed water safety practices
that influenced public health development for generations through practical discoveries emerging from desperate necessity.
Most remarkable was how pirates became masters of purity while living lives of chaos and violence. These men, who were society's dirtiest outlaws, understood clean water was foundation of life. Social structures around water purification showed pirates at their most cooperative and scientifically minded, always. Water safety became shared responsibility, transcending normal pirate hierarchy, because everyone understood contaminated water could kill entire crew regardless of fighting ability or social status aboard pirate vessels. Intellectual achievements of pirate water specialists demonstrated sophisticated scientific thinking that society never recognized.
These men, dismissed as ignorant criminals, possessed advanced understanding of chemistry, biology, and health.
Innovation and problem-solving abilities revealed remarkable capacity for systematic experimentation and continuous improvement methods.
They showed genuine scientific method in their approach to water safety, testing hypotheses systematically. Cultural exchange around water purification created positive interactions between pirates and indigenous peoples, sharing knowledge.
Unlike typical relationships based on robbery, water safety cooperation involved genuine knowledge sharing, benefiting communities.
Pirates who mastered water purification understood something fundamental about survival beyond simple toughness or fighting. They learned staying alive required becoming masters of invisible world of microorganisms and chemical contamination,
turning potential sources of death into reliable supplies of life-sustaining liquid through scientific purification methods. These masters of chaos learned survival, often meant becoming masters of purity through scientific understanding. Proving even dirtiest outlaws could develop sophisticated understanding of cleanliness when lives depended on it.
Their success came from recognizing water quality was literally a matter of life and death.
That required scientific approaches rather than wishful thinking about water safety and contamination dangers.
Pirates became accidental pioneers of water sanitation, developing purification techniques combining physical filtration with chemical treatment, biological processes, and quality testing into comprehensive systems, transforming deadly swamp water into drinking supply.
using methods modern water treatment facilities would recognize as scientifically sound and highly effective.
Clear thinking about clear water became foundation of pirate survival, demonstrating intelligence and systematic methodology. Could overcome even most dangerous environmental challenges when applied with determination and learning willingness. Pirates proved that survival required scientific thinking about invisible threats that could kill faster than any visible enemy they'd ever face in naval combat or territorial disputes. Their water purification innovations saved more pirate lives than any weapon or tactical advantage they ever developed through understanding that clean water was more valuable than treasure. Pirates learned that mastering invisible dangers was more important than mastering visible enemies completely. Their greatest victories were often achieved through successful water purification, rather than successful battles. Water safety techniques became a foundation for long-term pirate success, enabling extended voyages and operations. Pirates who mastered water purification could remain healthy indefinitely, making them nearly impossible to defeat. Their purification techniques represented ultimate triumph of human intelligence over environmental challenges and natural limitations.
In the end, pirates proved that learning from nature and science was key to survival.
Clear water became their greatest treasure, more valuable than gold, because it sustained life itself.